The Disrupt Education vlog can be found on YouTube. To hear it in podcast form, search Disrupt Education on any of the following podcast platforms: Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Spotify, or Stitcher. Welcome to this episode of Disrupt Education. I'm here with Rene and Rawan.
Hello.
Thank you guys for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, my name's Rene Ayala, and I'm 31 years old. I'm Latino. And you?
My name is Rawan Elshafei. I'm 21 years old, and I am Lebanese.
Tell us what you're up to these days. What are you studying? What are you all about?
Okay, so right now, me and Rawan pulled a strategy, and she decided she was going to take entrepreneurial. She's a little bit more left-brained than I am. Mm-hmm. So then I decided I was going to take video editing, and I want to take a class in some type of negotiations. Mm-hmm. I have obviously not there yet. So right now I'm just doing the video editing because I think that's going to help me build a platform and a base that I can speak on, which it's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social media outlet I decide to use.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm currently studying business management, entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Before that, I was actually a major in education.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I decided to change that just because I think it's more... You get to change the world more with the entrepreneurial aspect of things, definitely.
You get to disrupt education.
Precisely.
That's how we roll. So your switch, and you're 31, so you switched from education. Coming into this, we're at College of DuPage. What's the atmosphere like here? How do you like it here so far? And just tell us a little bit about that path.
Well, I really like College of DuPage. I actually never thought I was going to go back to college. Mm-hmm. I already been through school. Mm-hmm. But she basically asked me to come to school and to do something I actually want to do versus, trust me, I wasted many, many years in school doing things I did not want to do to get certificates or degrees that I did not need or wasn't going to use. What I like about the College of DuPage is that it's easy to get into, okay, and it's a community school, but it doesn't feel like it. It's huge.
Right.
It's really big, and I feel like the professors that are here are kind of a little bit more open-minded than most schools. For example, like in arts, like you would think they're a little bit more liberal about their thinking and all that, and but then you go into big schools and they're very and they know what they want to see out of you, and here you can kind of do whatever you wish and and explore that creative mind you have. And I think that's really, really important. For example, with disrupting education, that's one of the things that you want to that you want to open up the lid on.
I used to go to Moraine Valley. I just feel like the professors here are a lot more understanding, and they actually care about their students, and they want their students to learn. So I just think the whole community here is just so open, and there's a lot of opportunities in this college. There's the entrepreneurship club. There's over 100 clubs here.
Yeah,
hands down. It's amazing. What
was your paths like in high school? So that transition into your first educational experience after high school, what was that like? Because you said you went somewhere else before here. Tell us that path. What did that look like?
I'm gonna let her go first because mine's kind of long.
I went to Stagg High School, and I just feel like the teacher is there. They want one thing this way, and throughout my entire career in schools, not only in high school, like, the teachers just want one thing. Okay, it's A, B, C, or D. Ooh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
It's A, B, C, or D, or F, And they don't give you a very wide range of what you can or cannot do. They just say, these are the rules. You have to follow it. If you don't follow it, you fail. It's that simple, And I just... going through high school especially, I was like, this isn't right, but okay, I'm just going to follow it so I can pass and graduate.
Right.
And as I transitioned from high school to college, when I did go to Moraine, it was kind of the same thing. And I was like, okay, this should definitely be a lot more different. I had nobody telling me, okay, you need to take these classes if you want. You can take these classes as well. I had people telling me, you have to take math, reading, science, all that stuff.
Right.
And
The
I was like,
prerequisites.
I was like, okay, but I did that in high school.
Right.
I was like, I don't even want to do anything in math. They're like, nope, you still have to take it. And like you said with a mentor, like I feel like if each student had a person telling them, like, you don't need to do this, you need to do what you want. Because if you don't do what you want at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy. It's that simple. Yeah.
The repetition. Did you feel that repetition as well? Like I just went into college and then it was after high school, or after high school and went into college and it was the same thing again. How was your path?
Well, for me, ever since it's funny that she said A, B, C, D, and didn't acknowledge F till later.
Right.
Because for me, that was mostly my grades growing up.
Yeah.
I had ADHD, but I didn't know it.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing till later on. I finally got diagnosed, and I realized I have ADHD. But then after that, I quickly got. And I was Latino. Right? There's a reason why I introduced myself as a Latino. I was a minority. Okay. And I ended up getting put into special education classes. I knew I didn't belong there, but I was still put there.
Right.
So it was very hard, and I always felt dumb. I would walk through school with my head down, and it hurt. And people never understood that. But I knew that there was I was intelligent in certain things, and even my brother-in-law, he calls me Rain Man, and I didn't know how to express myself in school. There's certain things I want to do. I've always the kid that wanted to climb the side of the school. I see that brick building, I just want to climb it. I've always wanted to jump off the highest diving board. I wanted to always jump off the bridge, and just, I've always that type of person. And through school, that got me to a lot of trouble, not knowing that I could use these skills or this mindset to my advantage. Now I look at ADHD as a positive thing in a way to, because it's amazing how fast ideas come in my head. Right. And a lot of people don't have that ability. And that's kind of my superpower.
Yeah.
Was I grew up through school, then I ended up moving to Indiana, which that's when things really got bad. I was, maybe there was like 5 other Latino kids when I first got there.
Yeah.
It was bad, and I got picked on a lot. And I've always been kind of small. Well, I was the tallest kid till I got to 5th grade, and then after that I just stopped growing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and as that happened, I just people just always get picked on. But then I was always the bully's bully. There was I was always looking for the bully. Someone's getting bullied, I was there to stop them.
Right.
And that was just me. I don't know why. I've always been that way. I've always felt like I was meant to be a hero.
Yeah.
And I always root for the underdog.
Yeah.
I don't watch traditional TV because I always know what's gonna happen. I always know how it's gonna double. Okay, so this guy's gonna get the girl. This guy's gonna, they're gonna win. So that's nice. I get really bored fast, and as she knows, I have a hard time watching TV. Well, continue to my education. I grew, I went through school. I went through some sports. I was really bad at football. So then they put me into running back, and I was like, oh, okay, well here I can kind of do what I want to do.
Right.
So they found my position finally.
Yeah.
And then I excelled in that part. But it was just really hard for me to grow up. And I've always, and my mom says, she always told me that to stop. Actually, I guess maybe being creative. I guess it was one of those things where she loves me so much, and she's such a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
But she just wanted me to get through school.
Right.
And she just wanted me to, they came here as immigrants, and they wanted me to succeed.
Yeah. Right.
And school was not the place for me to be. And they didn't have the type of programs that they do here now, or the people like you that come in and speak to us that we can reach out to and tell our ideas to. It's very it's very learn, get these books, and I don't learn that way. Right. I don't. So it was difficult. Then I went to college, at Ivy Tech in Lafayette. There, I didn't really do. I didn't really do too well, but I was just enough to pass.
Did you know what you were doing there? Did you, or was it just like the next step for you?
I took law enforcement.
Yeah.
I took law enforcement because I had a friend that was taking law enforcement, and I thought it was pretty cool to have a gun,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and to get bad guys,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and that was, and that's kind of always been me,
Mm-hmm.
and but I just didn't know where it would lead me to. That's as far as I guess that's my education background.
Very different paths, which is cool, because you almost work together as a team.
Right.
Well, you do.
We do.
Yes.
You do.
We do.
You can kind of see
Absolutely.
it. Well, let's go then into that high school realm, or just out of high school realm, that you've experienced. The ABCD, and then I need to move around. There seemed to be a lack of an imagination,
Oh my
a
gosh.
lack of building something there. And this is the big question. So if you could redesign like a high school or a program for students like you, and there are a lot of them out there,
Absolutely.
what would it look like? Ladies first.
Okay. Well, that's actually an easy question for me because I have thought about this for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned earlier, I used to study education.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I got out of it is because I hated it.
Yeah.
The reason why I chose education, because I want to help students learn. But I don't want to help them learn, all right, you have to do this, these are the rules, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and that's it.
Right.
Once I figured out, okay, that's the education system, I was like, I don't want this anymore.
Hmm.
So if I can change it, I would ensure that the students don't feel afraid to come to school. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Because fear makes kids drop out. That's what it is. It's fear, and it's their lack of confidence, because teachers are like, oh, you got this math test wrong, here's an F.
Right.
And that just makes them feel, okay, I can't do it, I can't do anything, this is how it is. I'm not even going to get to go to college,
Right.
So I would make that ABCD crap blow away. That's the
Nice.
first thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would make it more of a creative environment. And I know some students, they love math, they love sciences, so they can have that.
Mhm.
But the creative kids who don't know, who are very bad at it,
Mm-hmm.
they can have teachers who will spend more time with them and who will pretty much help them, progress with their creativity,
Mhm.
who will help them build on what they want to do with their creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And schools, they focus on flaws.
Right.
That's what they do. They
Yeah.
really do. So I would make that go away, and I'd be like, all right, this is your flaw. Cool. What are you good at? What are you good at, so we can make it even better, and, you can build an empire with that.
That's so powerful. I love that, because that's exactly what we're trained to find flaws. You couldn't have said
Yep.
it better.
Yeah.
But
that's
you're
what
going to
it
have
is.
to, because you're going to change your school. How would you change your school?
Okay, so if it was up to me, first thing I would do is have the kids teach. I think
Wow.
that's very important. I know that for me to teach something, if you teach me how to do something, someone asks me how to do it, I can teach that person how to do it. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn, is to actually have the kid be the teacher or the little adult. That is the best way. At least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I believe that in order to change the education system, we have to get rid of a lot of these. Well, let's go with this. When was the last time that someone asked you about your GPA?
Never.
They never do.
I mean, yeah.
But
never
yet we're taught to strive for that GPA
Right.
or to get that degree. When does Google ever ask for, or Google or any of these big companies ever ask for your GPA? They don't. They want to know what you can do. And I believe that we should figure out, like you said, people's strength. And because a lot of these weirdos, a lot of these kids that don't do good in school have the most creative minds.
Right.
And we see it over and over and over. Every podcast you listen to, every entrepreneur, they always say the same thing, you know. But a lot of the times it's just getting down, knowing what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, and then finding that strength and building that up. You know, a lot of people want to be left brain, but guess what? The right brain hires the left brain.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Left brain hardly ever hires the right brain. Right. Unless they are taught, you know, to do a manual skill. But if a lot of these entrepreneurs out here, you know, they're right brain hiring left brains.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there's a place for that. You know, you want a doctor, you definitely want them to go to school. You want to know what they're doing. But if you're trying to build a business, I probably wouldn't go with it. I probably wouldn't go with it. And I think that's very important. I think it's important to find people that are hurt. I think it's very important to find people that have been neglected, because those are going to be the most faithful kids you have.
That's true.
And they're going to have the most heart. And if you can show them the path, and if you can show them, hey, like, you have it. Like, you have a chance, you have an opportunity, show me what you got.
Right.
And let me show you how I can help you.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. Those are, you combine these two schools, you got something like huge. Like,
Let's
this is
hope so.
extremely disrupting education. With that being said, what's next for you all? What's the next move?
My next move is going to be, we're trying to start a project together. And, you know, it's going to be a garbage man. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This sounds like a great idea for me. What I want to do is help clean the ocean. This is just what I'm going to do soon.
Right.
In the next 6 months.
Sure. Which I love, that big thinking. Like, there's not a lot of you're spot on. You're like, I have big ideas. I'm going to do this. That was a huge idea. Like, you're like, this is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Setting that up. So a lot of teachers wouldn't recognize that. They'd be like,
Yeah.
So just case in point there. Just wanted to point that out, because that's amazing. Like, I'm just like, my mind's blown right now. So sorry to interrupt. But.
Oh, no problem. And there's a lot of companies out there that are cleaning up the ocean. They can clean up surface. They can clean up the bottom. Okay, but it's really hard to clean up that middle part. That garbage is the middle part. When you go to the beach, when you get on the boat, it you know, everything, the water looks fine, it looks clean, and it looks pretty good. But it's not till you get beyond the roof where everything falls, all the trash falls and accumulates and tumbles and all that, and then you got all that coral. The corals are the teeth of the ocean. The problem is there's currents, and it's hard to clean, and they're very sensitive. No one can clean that up. There's no technology out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are willing to donate. I want you to tell them a little bit about this.
Right.
Okay. So as he mentioned, it's really hard to get in those, you know, those little spots and stuff. There are no technologies to do that, and if they do, they're gonna harm it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So what we figured is, why don't we go in there, scuba dive down there, and clean it up ourselves? And this will all be live streamed as well, so people who do donate can watch this happen.
Oh, wow.
You know, so there's a lot of nonprofits out there, you know, major businesses cleaning up the ocean, which is awesome. But they give out, you know, those little bracelets, magazines, shirts, all of that.
Yeah.
What happens when the people throw it away or lose them? They go
just
back to
repollutes.
repolluting, not only the ocean, but just the earth in general. You know? So what we figured is, well, why don't we do something as awesome, but just 0% repollution?
Yeah.
You know, and people get to watch this happen.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool.
And the idea behind that is that instead of me giving you a shirt or a bracelet or more papers or more things that are going to repollute the earth, I just take recycled jars, okay, and I put those that garbage that I found in the jar, and I send it to you.
Oh, wow.
So you actually get to watch the video of when that jar got picked up at, with the location, the pinpoint. You know, you get to watch the stream or the YouTube video of when that got picked up for you, and we send it directly to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Because a lot of people want to help,
Yeah.
they can't help.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially here in the Midwest, it's really hard to go clean the ocean.
Right.
But there's a lot of people here that donate money.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they can become part of the process.
Yes.
Exactly.
Without
They'll be part of
traveling.
it.
Yeah.
They will be part of it.
They will understand
They won't
the journey.
only just be sitting there like, yeah, oh, the other day I gave money to this thing. They'll
Mhm.
be like, oh no, look what I did.
Nice.
You know, and on the jars there will be like a little link
Mhm.
that goes to the live stream. They can have like their names written on it or
Mhm.
whatever.
Right.
So they will be part of it.
Where can people go to find out about this journey? I mean,
Well, I guess they can follow us. They can follow me on Instagram, which is I Live Headstrong.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to mention something.
Sure.
One of the biggest things the reason why we decided to do this is kind of what it has to do with the education part. A lot of the money that gets donated to, like, Pink Ribbon never goes to the actual research, and we have a big issue with that.
Mhm.
We have a major issue with
Mhm.
that, and it's not just like Pink Ribbon,
Mhm.
which people, they have a month for it, but none of that money ever, hardly
Mhm.
any part of that money actually gets put into research,
Right.
and I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, like, hey, I'm charging $15 donation for this jar.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm keeping the money.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to tell you I'm going to donate it or anything like that.
Right,
I'm
right.
going to put my physical labor to do this.
Mhm.
Okay, and I want other people to join in on it too, like other scuba divers, like companies like Patty, that can help out. I don't want any lies,
Mhm.
within this company.
Right.
I want to be completely transparent,
Mhm.
and I want people to hold a physical object so they know that we really did this.
Mhm.
Maybe donate some money. Maybe 10 cents of that went to actual cleaning.
Right.
We want to put our hearts in our labor,
Yeah.
and the money that we earn
Yeah.
we'll keep, and then we'll use for other projects.
I see a parallel with the way that you learn and the way that you're giving back here. It's truly amazing because the stories that you were talking about, your high school path, you've actually are very self-aware of who you are, what your strengths are, and you're putting it to a totally different way of helping out with the transparency.
Important.
Best of luck to both of you.
Thank you. You as well.
It is, that's truly amazing. You're disrupting education by doing. I come from the mindset of, we got to build something and put people in it. You're connecting people and improving, the earth. Which is amazing. Like, so to me, that's like super disruption of education. So I appreciate that. And I want to thank you both for being here with us today. Our viewers will check out your Instagram, and we look forward to great things from you all. So
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it,
guys
Peter.
so much. All right, guys, until next time, you want to follow, what's your Instagram again?
I Live Headstrong.
I Live Headstrong, and you will follow that journey. I'm telling you, this couple is like a power couple right here. We're going to see great things. Keep disrupting. We'll see you next time.